Great awakening, light lords, and grand rising to those who have not yet awoken to the simple fact that what situation you're in, whatever situation you're in, it has the tools. Whatever stage of the game you're on, it has the tools and the accessories and the weapons and the armor that you need to get out of that situation and get to the next level. Any situation you get in is there to teach you something. Anything in your life is really an obstacle course for you to learn from. It's an obstacle course for you to learn from so that you can utilize the information you take in from the things you're going through and better yourself and grow your mentality and grow your state of being. So when it comes to the people that are in the lower self, when it comes to people that are in Babylon, when it comes to people that eat meat and like fast food and mess with their hair a lot and all kinds of stuff, working for money, stuff like that. See, everything in Babylon is actually a tool. Everything in existence is a tool. You see, the law of polarity states that everything has its opposite. If there is an energy, there is an equal and opposite energy. So there is no true opposite. Therefore, since there is no true opposite, everything is actually a tool that can be used one way or another. It can be used for the higher self in a higher self fashion for growth and betterment, or it can be used for self-destruction. It can be used to belittle the quality or the value of that thing. Just like our religious books. Our religious books are tools for us to use to gain a higher level of insight about what we are in existence, why we're here, how we got here, where we're going, all the basic questions you ask about reality and what reality really is. All of these religious books are tools for us to get to that. But as you can see through the history of humanity, through our current knowledge or our current conscious awareness of the history of humanity, religion has not been used to adequately and effectively raise the consciousness of humanity. Religious doctrines have been used to keep people in boxes, keep them in a sheep level, keep them at a level where you have to keep getting information from a specific religious box, from a specific religious perspective of life, in order to make yourself feel like you're doing something here, make yourself feel like you're getting to the right places and going where you need to be. But when it comes to scientific facts, without any religious book, we can know that most of the sun is going to a tropical environment. That's where we get all of our food from. That's where we get all our food from. Most of our food comes from the tropical environments. That's where most of everything, that's where most of all life is flourishing and living in abundance. And that's where most of the sun goes as well. So when we see that scientifically, we can know that, okay, humans are supposed to live in their natural state. Animals are supposed to live within their natural state upon the planet. So within this realm that we're living in, we know that we're supposed to live in warmer climates with rain seasons and dry seasons, getting constant rays of food from the sun, information from the sun to constantly grow and better itself. See, us living in this Babylon state, us living in the northern hemisphere or a hemisphere outside of the tropics of Cancer and the tropics of Capricorn, that affects our genes and our mentality. But you see, it affects our genes and mentality according to how we use it. You see, we're in Babylon. We're outside of the tropics of Cancer and the tropics of Capricorn. I'm talking to the people that's outside of the tropics of Cancer and tropics of Capricorn right now with me. We're outside of this ideal environment, this ideal state of living, this kingdom of heaven, this kingdom of God, heaven on earth, the new heaven and the new earth. We're living outside of this hemisphere, but in the manifested realm, we are living outside of it. When you attune your mind, when you connect and align your thoughts and how you move with those thoughts and express yourself with those thoughts and the right types of thoughts and think those thoughts often in the unmanifest, then it must materialize, because these vibrations are brainwaves in our heart and all of our body is vibrating. We are vibrating energies and vortexes of light. And everything is that we can perceive is light, even invisible things. Even invisible light. There's invisible light. The whole electromagnetic spectrum is light. Electromagnetism is light. So with these vibrations, these invisible waves that are all around our bodies, which are actually projecting our bodies into existence through astrological phenomenons. When those vibrations go out, it affects everything. It literally affects everything, even what you think are inanimate objects. But when you in tune with nature, you know that there's a law of vibration, and everything is constantly moving, infinitely. No matter how small you make, no matter how much you make a microscope that can look smaller and smaller and smaller, or a telescope that can look farther and farther and farther and see larger things, everything is constantly moving and vibrating within this waters of new, within this quantum soup of reality, of the simulation, of the nothingness, what we conceptualize as the nothingness. So if everything is vibrating and moving and creating waves within these waters, then that means your thoughts are doing that, right? Okay, that means your thoughts are doing it. So when it comes to people in Babylon, if you're aiming and you are consciously and constantly focused on being the being that's in a tropical environment, being the being that's living as your higher self, and you focused on that every day, those vibrations are going to go out of your head and going to bring situations to you within the situation that you're already in, within the Babylon that you're already in. Your higher self thoughts will bring specific types of higher self energy through the lower self to you, so that you can utilize that to get to the next stage of the game. See, all these people on the internet, these neo-naturalists, they always talking about it's better to just quit your job. Just quit your job, man. Just quit your job. Go into nature. Go into nature. Just quit your job. Like, in every facet of the realm, almost every facet of this reality, you have to use some source of what they call money or material or trading goods to get something back, to have a return within the manifested realm. So if your thought is getting out of the situation constantly and being better and growing and focusing on bettering yourself in the reality around you, no matter what situation you're in, you're going to get something manifested as a material accessory for you to utilize as a tool. So when those brainwaves go out and you get job opportunities and you meet people within the Babylonian system that can help you get out, then you should take hold of that. And you should use those things to further your progress and your betterment. Don't get stuck in them, because that's the whole point of the game. The whole point of the game is to get out of the game. But you can't get out of the game without utilizing what's in the game. The way the game is built, why the game is built. You should know, you have to know these things in order for you to utilize the right tools, or to utilize or to make the right decisions when it comes to playing the game. When it comes to playing any video game, you have to know how the controls work, how the configurations on the controls work, the objective and the points of the goals within the game, and what those points are leading you to within that game, and what you are getting, what type of residuals you're getting within the video game to make you feel like you're winning or you're doing something, accomplishing something. So when you vibrate these thoughts out within Babylon, focused on your higher self, within Babylon, people are going to come. Situations are going to happen. Opportunities will be presented to you. It is up to you to take hold of those opportunities and utilize them in such a way, use those tools in such a way that it gets you out of the system. So I do not recommend I do not recommend strictly listening to people that say jump out. Just no job, quit your job, jump out, get in tune with nature, you're gonna get the money. You see what I'm saying? Because that's basically that's equal to saying trusting the Holy Father, trusting Jesus. Don't worry about you see what I'm saying? Don't worry about none of that. Don't worry about anything, just trusting Jesus. Don't worry about anything, trusting Jesus. That's blind faith. That is blind faith. See, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, which means it's scientific evidence. But if you got the wrong evidence and you're trying to get to a specific type of goal, you're not going to get to that goal because your evidence is not setting up an equation for you to use to get to a summation of a numerical value. You see, we living in this realm, and we're living in a consciousness of finite things, always wanting finite things. The Babylonian system and the lower self's mindset is just wanting finite things, trying to make finite things forever. As the higher self, we should be focused on utilizing the finite things to get to forever. Utilizing, understanding that everything is infinite. Understanding that everything is infinite, that things can only change form. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed from one form to another. And utilizing a specific type of energy transformation to help yourself transform and get to the level you want to be on. That's what the higher self is thinking about. The lower self, it sees things in separation so much that, okay, finite experience. I need this. I'm trying to keep this. No, you have to live in abundance. And the higher self, you already have everything. You're already thinking I have everything. So when you get up and you focus on being the higher self, and then you let those vibrations go out and you hold those thoughts frequently. You frequently hold those thoughts. It'll create a vibration of those thoughts, and it will come back to you as synchronicities, as different situations. And you will see them. You will be aware of them. It will be shown to you, because since you're holding that thought all day and you're looking in your realm, your manifest reality, at the same time, you're going to see the specific types of energy that is connected. You're going to see the specific ways that energy is connected to what you're holding within your unmanifested mind. See, we got to be more aware of what's really going on here. When it comes to getting back in tune with nature, getting back in tune with the higher self, getting back in tune with growth and betterment of the all that is, which you are in an individualized form. You have to see that everyone, from nothingness to oneness, from zeroness to oneness to infinity, everything in infinity is experiencing a perspective. So everything in reality is subjective. So when people say, I just hop out on it, and they've done it, right? They've done it. So can't nobody tell them, can't nobody tell me this. Can't nobody tell me this. You just hop out on it. Just go full speed, stop working for Babylon. Don't play the game at all. They can do that because their astrological energy is set up to the point where they see past the game. And since they see past the game and able to actually live past the Babylonian system's game with their astrological energy, then they can get out the situation like that. You see? But not everyone can do that. There are people that are focused on the higher self, but the situations that they're in within Babylon and in the lower self system, they have to utilize their specific astrological energy to get them out. So the people that just jumped out and did it and had success, they had a contoured astrological energy, a specific type of energy from the stars that allowed them to do that. Their avatar, you see, what's embedded in their avatar allowed them to do that. But a lot of us, a lot of beings on this planet, a lot of humans, a lot of gods walking the earth, they have different astrological energies, but with the same goal. See, all paths lead to the source. That's what we got to remember. All paths lead to the source. See, I'm the type of person where in my astrological energy, I got a Libra Jupiter in the 10th house. I got a Libra Jupiter in the 10th house. That means that any philosophy I get, any type of form of knowledge I get and can apply and can understand, I'm going to take that philosophy, I'm going to take that system of thinking, and I'm going to better it through my intuition and through my logic, through my study and what I feel and what I see. I'm going to take everything. I'm going to take everyone's feelings around me, including mine, because everything around me is myself. I'm going to take all the perspectives of everything, put it all together, boil it in a pot, and take out what's objective about the situation. What's objective about the situation is it's better to go in a straight line from point A to point B if you're trying to get to where you want to go. But that point A and point B, that straight line itself is going to be different for every single person. That straight line itself is going to be different for those with different astrological energies. The straight line itself, objectively, the straight line from point A to point B, from lower self to higher self, first starts mentally. First starts within your thought. All is mental. The first hermetic principle that holds reality and existence, holds consciousness together for us to experience this. Everything is mental. The straight shot itself is getting out of lower vibrational thinking and going straight to high vibrational thinking, no matter where you are in the manifest realm. No matter where you are. And through that higher state, that higher vibrational thinking, no matter where you are on the earth, you will get situations through your video game, through your experience of this video game, this simulation, this holographic universe. You will get specific type of situations fit for your astrological energy based within your thought of getting to higher manifested realms, higher manifest realities. But it's going to come through your specific astrological energy. This is what we need to focus on. So for the people that can just jump out, say, hey, study your astrological energy. This goes for both sides. Study your astrological energy so you can know what part of the path you're on. All paths lead to the source. So you can know what path you're on. When you study your astrological energy, you'll know what path you're on. You will know whether you can just leap out and say, F a job. Forget a job. I'll just get money by, expressing the knowledge and communicate with different people, because in my astrological energy, I am very well at that. And I since I know that, I have trained myself. I've become more conscious of that part of myself, that part that's embedded within my avatar through my astrological energy, and I will utilize that effectively to get to the higher self. For the people that can't, or for the people that can but don't really have the astrological energy to do it, they will do it by another means, whether it's going to get a job, a quote unquote job in the system, and while still connecting with people on that same frequency of thought, and utilizing the system, utilizing the paper game to get themselves out of the situation they're in and get in the higher self. So they're both in the source. They're both leading to the source. So study your astrological energy. When you study your astrological energy, you'll know exactly what you can do, because it's basically just telling you things that you already do that you're not aware of, as a personality, as a person, as a part of the sun. When you connect with that part of the sun, and you become more conscious of your astrological pieces that make up you from the sun, then you become the sun, and the sun shines on everything. Even when it's freaking what we think of as nighttime, the sun is still shining. The sun is still shining. We still get sunlight. Without the sunlight, it would be complete darkness. It would be complete nothingness, because the moon wouldn't shine. The moon wouldn't shine. None of the stars in the sky that we see would shine, because the sun is all suns, and the earth is the sun, and we are the earth. So we are the sun. And when you shine bright, when you gather up all of the facts about yourself, and you start becoming more of the white light from the sun, knowing that you are projecting white light from your darkness, creating infinity, different forms of that light, then you're going to push out exactly, specifically. You're going to express exactly and specifically what you need to in specific moments, depending on the residual that you've gotten from holding that higher self thoughts. But it's all going to come according to your astrological energy. It's all going to come according to your astrological energy. So don't listen to everybody. Listen to everybody. I'm not going to say don't listen to people that just say jump out there, because some people can do that. But what I'm going to tell you to do is study yourself and study others. Study everybody else, because everybody else is yourself on an objective level. I'm JAH MASHIAC, and I am here to live out and teach higher wisdom as an example for the collective consciousness. JAH MASHIAC is here to better his skills, his mental skills, more and more every day in order to affect, manifest reality, and materialize things into his experience. That's what we should be doing every day, no matter what. Whether you're in Babylon or you're in the kingdom of God. Whether you're in Babylon or the kingdom of God, in the manifested realm, it doesn't matter if you're in the kingdom of God mentally. If you're in the kingdom of God on a thought frequency, on a thought vibration. Because with that thought frequency of the kingdom of God, it will manifest, it will go out and manifest and gather up things for you to use to manifest in the material world, the kingdom of God, in the kingdom of heaven. See, when it comes to the natural laws and how everything works, everything in reality is subjective. The truth is not based on your perception. The truth is what is beyond your perception. The truth is beyond your perspectives. Because people, a couple years ago, a lot of people were saying the truth is what it is to you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the truth is to you. No, that's not what the truth is. Whatever the truth is to you is half truth. And that's a fact. Whatever the truth is to everybody in existence, to you specifically, is half truth. The whole truth is utilizing the information to live in tune with the laws and principles that hold reality in existence, period. So no matter what subjective perspective you coming from, as long as you can hold your thoughts within the laws and principles that make up existence, that make up experience, that make up consciousness, and its cycles of transformation, then you are going to be the higher self. You are going to be the kingdom of heaven. You are going to be God. You are going to be oneness and infinity and the zero all at one time and become conscious of it all. You will be conscious of yourself. So study your astrological energy. For people that's in Babylon, but are focused on the higher self, focused on that path, on the narrow path and the straight line, utilize whatever you can use within your environment, according to your astrological energy, the tools you can use to get to the next level of the game. You see, when you're playing a video game, you start off on one stage, the beginner stage. Then when you utilize everything in their reality, in that game, in that stage of the game to get to the next level, you're going to take the tools and stuff that you got from the previous level into the next level, along with having extra tools and other things that you might need to get past that level as well. Get past the second stage. And it keeps going and going and going. That's how video games are made, because it's made off of the equation of how the universe is being. It's made off of equations. Video games are made off of equations of how the universe exists. Anything we make, anything we quote unquote make or manipulate, the energy we're manipulating this existence into a concrete, or what we can see as a concrete form, is a representation of us, just as we are representations of an operation for study and observance. We make things that represent our operation for study and observance and to be used. Because you don't just study and observe anything for nothing. You study and observe something so that it can be utilized for your convenience. You study it so that it can be, you study and observe it so that it can be utilized for your growth and betterment. For what you conceptualize as your growth and betterment at the time anyway. So the tools that's around here, the tools that's around in these realms, whether you're in Babylon or the kingdom of heaven, they need to be used. They need to be used. But they need to be used in the right way. Don't go working at a job and end up sitting on your ass every day, just going to work every day and feeling sorry for yourself because you're working in a system that you know is not right for you. And so you going and buying, like you going and buying drink and motherfucking smoke and trying to find different ways to pacify yourself within the system that you're living in, because you know you're not supposed to be living in it. Don't go working for money and trying to hold material possessions, because our energy is constantly being transformed. Only use the possessions that you have at the moment to better your situation and to better your mentality and to get to the next level. Don't be going and try to buy cars and try to buy women and listen to these fake ass rappers on the radio, listen to these fake ass rappers on social media and online on YouTube and all over the world, just talking about nonsense, talking about sipping lean and doing pills and all this bullcrap and shooting each other and killing each other. When all of the tools that they're using can be used for something better, can be used for something way better. And that is aligning you with the kingdom of heaven. That is aligning you with the kingdom of God. The system that we're living in, the systems that we're living in, are all meant to be used for the edification of the glory of God. And what is God? You. What is God? The person you just saw. What is God? Air, the earth, sun, everything in existence. Because if God always been and will never end, what did it make everything out of? See, this is what you got to realize. People in Babylon that's living, that's doing their best to get to the higher self. This is what you got to realize. If God always been and it's never going to end, then how did it make something? What did it take to make anything? It didn't make anything. It just transformed a part of itself. It just transformed different parts of itself. It first had to mentally see, we're the mind of God. And we first have to mentally compartmentalize different parts of ourselves and conceptualize perspectives of our own self. And that's what we're living right now. All the different people you see are just conceptualized or individualized versions of your own mind. All of the materials around you are just individualized versions of your own mind. So whether you're in Babylon or not, it's still you. So you must use it. Whether it's the lower self or the higher self, it's all being used for your growth and betterment. And when you become conscious of this, you become conscious of the fact that everything in reality, your reality that you see, is being used for your constant growth and betterment. That is what will get you out. That is what those things, everything around you must be used for betterment, though. A lot of these people, they're just going in the system and they're working for money, man. They're working for material, for short experience, short-lived experiences, over and over and over again. Short-lived experiences. That's all they're living for. They're not living to be within their natural environment and be healthy and do what they need to do to expand that awareness of being in tune with their natural environment. And the amount of intelligence that is raised, the amount of intelligence that is given from doing so. So for all my people in Babylon, all my people living in lower self environments, but just striving to dwell within a higher self environment, utilize that system. Utilize the system for what it's for. That system was made so that people can use it to destroy itself. I mean, it's a self-destructive system. So it's very easy to get caught up in it. This is why I keep repeating myself. It is very easy to get caught up in this system of self-destruction when it's all around you, subconsciously programming you. So you must constantly hold these types of thoughts in your head. You must constantly hold these types of awarenesses, these types of conscious thoughts that align you with natural law and natural living. You must constantly hold it while you're in the system, while also utilizing the system and being within it so that you can get out. The system is self-destructive. So that means that everything within the system is being used, is being promoted in order to destroy the system. But see, what you got to do is not be a part of your own self-destruction within that system while still using the system to help it get destroyed and live within your higher self. So it's very, 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 very tricky. Very, very tricky. But to the people that is conscious and aware, all you will have to do is work. And when you're not at work, keep focusing on the knowledge, even while you're at quote unquote a work or a job within the system. Keep focusing on the knowledge. Keep focusing on the knowledge. And all of the money that you accumulate and all of the people that are with you and that are aligned with your frequency of thought, that's helping you out and you're helping them and y'all building each other to get out the systems, it's all paths leads to the source. Y'all use y'all money to fund your diaspora. Use your money to fund your diaspora. Use your money to gather materials that will help you live in tune with nature. Use your money to gather solar panels. Use your money to gather tents. Use your money to gather survival kits, grounding kits. Use your money to get money together to go to buy, to not buy land, but live on the land. Live with the land. Use your money to book trips. To book a one-way ticket to a tropical environment and live within the environment. Even if you have to move, at least you're living the tropics of Cancer and the tropics of Capricorn. So that's what we need to be focused on. No matter what type of system you're working in, you can always use that system to get out of that system. This is a game. This is the game of God. Realize it. Be in tune. JAH MASHIAC is here to rule. Rule with objective facts and laws and principles that will further the progression of the divine knowledge, of the divine wisdom, of the higher self. JAH MASHIAC is the higher self being, no matter what situation we're in, no matter what situation the higher self is in. You will always have success and fulfillment and conquer and overcome the powers of the lower self, because the powers of the lower self come from the powers of the higher self. Let's get this information together, people. Share and subscribe. Go to my YouTube, watch my Lateral Laws playlist, and then come back and watch this video or any other video you want to watch on my channel. And let's get this information together. When I say get this information together, I mean let's get this information together. Let's gather it up together, because I'm an etymologist. I'm saying simultaneously, I'm an etymologist and a lyrical wizard. So I'm talking about metaphorically, I'm talking about in many different ways at one time when I say let's get this information together. When you listen to me, you must think deeply about what I'm saying, about every single sentence. Every single sentence or phrase that I'm saying, you must think deeply on many different aspects, because I come with the objective speaking. I come with the objective facts, the objectivity expressed through a subjective form. So let's get this information together means let's gather up all of these objective facts and principles that we talk about constantly, and let's live it out with each other, meaning together. Let's get this information together. Let's get this information to come into one accord with one another, to see the ins and outs of these boxes, get out of them, and expand our consciousness. I love myself, family. Godspeed. Peace and prosperity to all the gods walking the earth. This is the time. The time is now. Don't wait. Yeah, go get that money, but use it for the right reason. Peace.